Professor V.R. Raut. He is Associate Professor at Professor Rammegi Institute of Technology and Research, Amravati. He is also having teaching experience of 27 years. He has published more than 18 international and national journal oblique conferences. Currently, he is Dean Academics at PRMITR Batnera. Welcome, sir. Now, I would like to introduce our internal expert, Dr. P.D. Gawande, sir. He is Associate Professor in Electronics and Telecommunication Department at Sipna College of Engineering and Technology. He is having 22 years of teaching experience and industrial experience of 2.5 years at Mumbai. He has published more than 25 national international journal and conferences. He is also having two copyrights on his name. Now we would like to begin the presentation. We'll start in a sequence. First I would like to call. Yes, Nikita Dambare is present. No.
मॅम 2 मिनिट वेट.
Okay.
मैम आ रहे मैम वो.
Okay. Okay. After that, Ashish Thamke will be ready. Yes, I think he is also not present. After that, yes, Akshay Date, you will be ready. After Nikita. Okay, we'll start with the Sahil. Yes, Sahil, are you ready? Sahil Jaiswal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, start your presentation.
Is it visible to all of you?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sahil Jaiswal from Sipna College of Engineering and Technology. Title of my project is Implementation of Internet of Things for Portable Health Monitoring System. These are the contents of my PPTs. So let's start with the introduction. So in day to day life, all the people are busy in their works. So it is normal that everyone's neglect about their health. Mean a maximum person neglect about their health. So due to this lacks of health are due to lacks of health, deaths are increasing. So if every person have its own medical kits, so it will be best solution for its. So basically in this project it will detect the whatever parameters are given, and person will be see the parameters. Is there all the parameters of his body, all the organs are working properly or not? So basically for all this measuring these parameters, these projects are designed. Objective of my project is first continuously monitor the patient health, because if a patient is serious, so we need to monitor continuous patient health, and if there any changes occur, so immediately notification will send to the doctors or whatever colleagues they have, uh, and in case of emergency buzzer will be sound, so everyone get notification about its emergency. So and these are the literature review. So from this literature review, when I took a survey, I read the each paper of the literature review, and on these papers of the respective authors, I found that the many authors works on the heart rate sensor, temperature sensor, oxygen level, and many, and these topics they works using the different sensor. So these are all the literature reviews in which all the author mention their works with using the different sensor. If I next this is the system architecture. So basically in system architecture, I will use Arduino Nano. To Arduino Nano, heart pulse rate sensor, pulse oximeter, temperature LM35 sensor, and accelerometer. All these sensor will be connected to Arduino, and in which we can use LCD or maybe not. It is not a actually it is a optional way because all the output will be visible to laptop. So LCD is optional, and Arduino will be connected to Wi-Fi module. It is a Node MCU, and this will be connected to the server. Means because all our communication is based on the IoT, so IoT is an open source platform. So this server will be used for communication, and which is connected to doctor side PC. It is just for the um, uh, in general, because if we want to add the more receiver, we can also add the more receivers. These are the component of my project. First is a SpO2 and a heart rate sensor. It is a max 30100 sensor, basically work on 1.8 to 5.5 volts. This sensor measure the heart beats per minute and measure the level of the oxygen in our blood. It generally works on the 1.8 voltage. It uses the 16 megahertz frequency. By using this frequency, sorry, it measures the oxygen level. It works on ultra low shutdown current. Second one is thermistor. It is nothing but a uh, register which uses our the its property of the temperature base. By using this property, we can derive the temperature of our body, because as the temperature increases, resistance get decreases. Next one is GSR sensor. GSR sensor is used for measuring the sweat gland activities of our body. It is work on the conductivity, basically, because our body is the best example for the conductivity. How the amount of conductivity our body has, that amount of current will flow from this circuit. Because if we connect a GSR sensor, the how much current is flowing is depend upon the conductivity of our body, means present of sweets, because our sweet contain NaCl, and NaCl increases the conductivity. The second one, fourth one component is the accelerometer. Accelerometer is a free fall detection device which is used for measuring the body posture, because if it is attached to our body, then it will detect our inclination. If what is the position of our body, is it a standing, or it is a sleep position, or it is a lying position. So for all these detector, we use accelerometer. It is onboard LDO voltage regulator, because we have used LDO voltage regulator because we have to supply voltage to the various part as per requirement of their voltage. So to provide the supply, we have to use LDO voltage regulator. Next is the Arduino Nano. So this project is basically work on Arduino Nano, which is operated on 5 volt, have the flash memory of 32 KB, of which 2 KB memory is used by bootloader, and SRAM is of 2 KB. Its clock speed is 16 megahertz with 8 analog pins. It is a Wi-Fi modules. Node MCU. Node MCU is a Wi-Fi module on which we can connect our system to IoT. So to connect to system, we have to use our Wi-Fi module. which is nothing but a part to which is nothing but a path or medium for communication, which is easily programmable, easy open source platform. This is the flowchart of my project. So starting up the flowchart is initialization of accelerometer, SPO2 and heart rate sensor module. So startingly we have to initialize with our Arduino of the accelerometer sensor, SPO2 sensor, and sorry. Then we have to initialize up the I2C communication protocol, because I2C communication protocol we have used serial communication. We have to send our data to receiver. What data actually he have predicted. So for this interfacing, we have to initialize our I2C communication with the all other sensors. Uh, then sorry, initialization of ADC for analog signals, temperature and GSR, because temperature and GSR both are the sensor which use the analog signal. So for we have to display the results. So for that we have to convert it for analog to digital. So for that purpose we have to look analog to digital sensor. So we have to initialize that. We have then we can use a UART cable with a 9600 baud rate. Then acquire data from accelerometer flowed by the SPO2 sensor. We have to, in this, after all the interfacing of the element, we have to acquire the data of the particular sensor, that when we apply this project, then a particular sensor will send some data of the person. So we have to acquire that data, that is acquire the analog signal from the temperature and GSR sensor, and we have to convert. So for that we have already used the analog to digital conversion. And then we have to process that data. There is nothing but is all our processing is based on the C language. And then we have to send data serially from sensor to node MCU. That is, we have used I2C. For that purpose we have used I2C communication protocol, that is from slave to peripheral communication, which send data from serially. Sorry. This is all over about the flowchart. Now future scope. In future scope, with some modification, system can be made available commercially. As per our requirement, we can modify the system. It is also important aspect of the design is miniaturization, because it is a, in this world in this world all the papers are looking for the miniaturization, depending on the application system are going to be used. It is a conclusion. System uses the variable sensor Wi-Fi standard superior in different parameter. Proposed design will be able to effectively measure and monitor the human body. Uh, sorry. Wireless communication protocol for the data transfer between the sensor node and coordinator, that is the UART cable that we have used for the wireless communications. And these are the references of my projects, from which I took a survey and mentions and work on it. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, sir, sir,
Yes, yes.
please ask the questions.
Sahil, let me at first congratulate you for selecting such a nice topic.
Thank you so much, sir.
I mean, there is much scope in the days to come on Internet of Things. And
Thank
hope you will continue with this work even after your completion of your engineering program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
I have few queries regarding your selected paper title.
Okay, sir.
Have you submitted this paper in proper format? That is
Yeah.
IEEE.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, that's good. My basic, I have seen in one of your transparency slide, you said something about input signal resistance, not conductivity. I have not understood that particular point. Resistance, not conductivity means what? Can you go please 3 or 4
Yes,
slide?
sir. It is a resistance, not a conductivity.
Not conductivity means what? What is the difference between resistance and conductivity?
Sorry, sir. I am not feeling well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You take your own time, no issue. You drink some water, cold, warm water.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, sir, basically, in GSR sensor, input signal, the point is mentioned that uh, our body have each and every body have its own conductivity because everybody produces some sweets. So the sweets contain NaCl. So because of the sodium, the conductivity increases. So basically, this sensor work on the conductivity because much
No,
as
no.
much
My
as the
my basic question is, what is the relation between resistance and resistivity and conductivity?
resistivity is opposite of the conductivity.
Okay, and in that sense, you said not there. Resistance, not a conductivity.
Yes,
Not
sir.
means opposite to conductivity. You mean to say?
Yes, sir. In that topic, I mean to say it is a
So
conductive.
this is not appropriate in technical speaking, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got
Okay,
it.
fine. That's great. You are talking about thermistor sensor.
Yes,
Huh?
sir. Thermistor 10K.
Thermistor is a PTC or NTC? What is your opinion? Thermistor? Is it PTC or NTC?
Sorry, sir. I'm not getting properly.
Thermistor has
Positive temperature coefficient or the negative temperature coefficient?
Sir, it is a negative temperature coefficient.
what
Why?
that means?
Sir, actually, it is a when we put a finger on the sensor, so it is actually a second one register, and when we apply another registration circuit with that, so by putting a finger on this register, heat have its own property that it transfer from high temperature to low temperature. So by changing the temperature, voltage get varies. So by in short, I can say voltage across the register. By using this property, I use this
Achha.
register.
That's good. That's good. By the way, thermistor is a passive sensor or active sensor?
Sir, it is a passive sensor.
Okay, that's good. Achha, why did you use Arduino only? Why not any other processor? Say this could be done using even 8051 processor. Why especially Arduino?
S- Sir, Arduino is basically easily for programmable because in Arduino we have Atmega 328 microcontroller. Uh,
Okay.
in this we have used Atmega 328. So in Atmega 328 we have to program this. So basically it get easier to interfacing all the components. If
Achha.
we if we pick a specific controller, then it will very typical and physical. It will very hard tough to handle these circuits. And it in Arduino, all the components are interconnected with
It,
I2C protocol.
all these are inbuilt there in a small space, so it is easier to handle, right?
Yes, sir. And
So with
in
respect to the Arduino, you said something about bootloader. I have not understood what is bootloader.
sir, actually, bootloader means uh, system. I can say the first program run by the system. First program of our system run by the our RAM. Uh, For example, if we open our PC, then first program run by our memory, then it use our some RAM. So it is nothing but a bootloader. Means for uh, 1 minute, sir. For initialization of our interface, so memory used by that component, it is a bootloader. Sir, I'm not sure, but I know little bit about the bootloader. It is the for the initialization of our project Arduino.
Sahil, how the accelerometer detect the body posture?
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, accelerometers work on first is a reference point of our accelerometer is a gravitational, because accelerometer work on the uh, two type of forces. One is static acceleration and dynamic acceleration. Static means the force which is acting constant. So reference is our gravitation, which is 9.8 meter per second square, which is a constant. And uh, uh, dynamic acceleration means the force which is particularly moving to some direction continuously. when when a person tilt up or tilt down or it is sleep, then some force is acting on the body. So if person is standing, so on we have three axis: x axis, y axis, and z axis. So we have used in which the capacitor plates, actually in that sensor there is a capacitor plates which show that in which direction force is acting. So accordingly there will the voltage vary. So according on which axis the voltage is varying, we can detect the body posture.
What is the Wi-Fi standard?
uh,
Are
Wi-Fi
you
stand.
aware about the IEEE standard, Wi-Fi standard?
Yes, sir. I triple 802.11.
11.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Lot of research papers are available on the same topic.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the new things you are added in your paper?
Sir, GSR sensor is a new component I have added.
How many health parameter you are monitoring?
Four
Tell me the
parameters, sir.
name.
SpO2 and heart rate sensor means oxygen level measuring,
Hmm.
oxygen level and heart rate. Second, third one is temperature. Fourth one is uh, sweat gland activity,
Okay.
and fifth one is accelerometer, means body posture and movements.
Why not taking the BP as a blood pressure as a one parameter, additional parameters?
Yes, sir. We can add BP also.
Okay.
We can also add, sir, ECG. But sir, in ECG, one problem we cannot measure ECG of a portable person, moving person. We can measure of a stable person.
Okay. Thank you, Sahil.
Thank you, sir.
Over to Pandey ma'am.
Uh, Thank you, Sail. Next is Nikita Dambhare.
Yes, ma'am.
Should
Yes,
Ashwini, please.
yes, start your
Yes, ma'am.
presentation.
Ashwini.
Yes, is my screen visible to all?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, one and all, to present here. Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
go ahead.
yes.
Good afternoon, one and all, to present here. Today is the AICTE sponsored National Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Innovation 21. And our title is Smart Garbage Monitoring System. Next slide. Next slide. Um, my title is Smart Garbage Monitoring System. And my name is Nikita Dambhare. Uh, Next slide. These are the following content. Intro, objective of the project were literature review, exciting system, proposed system, technical background, implementation module, architecture diagram, flowchart, methodology, advantages and application, conclusion, references. Intro, please. Introduction. In this project, we are segregating waste into different categories. Make it easier to realize its recycling potential. Dry weights such as metal, aluminium, foil, glass, fabric, etc. Waste such etc. and plastic are non-biodegradable but can be recycled to create new product. We are separating garbage with the help of dustbin, which will monitor the correct garbage through incorrect dustbin. If the person will throw incorrect garbage in incorrect dustbin, they will have a particular amount of fine, which will be directly cut from its bank account. Yes, next. Next slide. Objectives of the project work. Our first objective is to develop an embedded system which will work on Internet of Things for data transferring. And second is to detect dry or wet garbage from the dustbin vehicle using motor to reduce hazardous health problem due to garbage. Next. Literature review. Uh, our first literature review. Detail of the paper. Name of the author is Sanjay Kumar, and the title of the paper is Smart Bean Waste Management System. Publisher is IEEE in year 2019. Work reported the outcome demonstration that the detecting framework is effectively and survey and can be utilized to robotize any solid waste and dustbin management process. Research gap detail identify when it reaches threshold level, it will automatically close the top door of the bin. And second paper and second detail of the paper is author is Vinod Kumar and title of the paper is Smart Garbage Monitoring System using Internet of Things. Publisher is IEEE in July 7, 2021. Work to be reported. The smart idea not only conserves the environment but also help to sustain the natural resources by limiting the collect of garbage. Research gap identify. It help proper collection of garbage which will help the authority to monitor and manage the garbage. Literature review. Detail of the paper. Um, author is Mohammad Nasir Khan, Fawad Nasir, based on IIT based university. Title of the paper is Garbage Monitoring System for Healthy Environment of Student. Publisher is IEEE in year 2020. Work to be reported. A basic idea of the project. Connect each garbage basket by using Internet of Things. Research gap to be identified. This system become useful and effective solution is improving university campus environment maintenance. Next slide. Literature review. In a fourth paper, detail of the paper, author is Dhiraj Sunera, uh, and the title of the paper is Automatic Waste Segregator for System Using Arduino UNO. Publisher is IEEE in year 2021. Work to be reported. In this paper, Arduino UNO board is issued as a main controller and various sensors are used to detect each type of waste, which is segregated and thrown into the respective bins. Gaps to be identified. This type of system can be fabricated in larger dimension for use in various places like educational, institutional, office, hostel, etc. Thank you. So I request Pratiksha to please explain next slide.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. Existing system. Statement. Urban India generated 62 million tons of manipulating solid waste each year. Of these, about 43 million tons, 70% is collected, and 11.9 million tons, 2020, is traded. About 31 million tons is dumped in landfill sites. It required lot of manpower to segregate the waste manipulating after collection. Efficiency of waste segregation is less. Frequently in our city, we see that the garbage bins or dustbin placed at public place on in private building are overloaded. Limitation: low collaborative communications. Second, absence voice module. Third, script based system. Please next slide. Next, proposed system. The main goal of the system is to detect the correct garbage through incorrect dustbin. In this system, we are segregate waste with the help of dustbin. If incorrect garbage through in incorrect dustbin, they take a particular amount of fine. Money directly cut from its account. Let's next slide. Technical background. Required technology. Hardware required used for this project. Note MCU ESP8266. Its Note MCQ is an open source firmware for which open source prototyping board design are available. Second, DST11 temperature and humidity sensor. DST11 is a basic ultra low cost digital temperature and humidity sensor. Third is the servo motors SG90. It is rotary actuatory of linear actuator. It's allow for precise control of angular or linear position, velocity and acceleration. It consists of the suitable motor couples to a sensor for position feedback. The fourth is EM18 RFID reader module. Then software requirement: Arduino IDE programming software. Second, Diptrace PCB design software. And third is Proteus simulation design software. These are the implemented work. Please next slide. Next next slide. Explain the Pallavi Chirkute, please.
Good afternoon, one and all. Implemented work module here. Here is the module of our project. Um, Please next slide. Next slide, please. Architecture diagram, flowchart. Here is a flowchart. Here is a microcontroller. A microcontroller is a small computer on a single metal. A microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation is embedded system. Microcontroller, here is the main power supply IC 7805 we use here for our project. And here is a two servo motors, servo 1 and servo 2. DHT11 is the use is a humidity sensor for testing wet garbage or a dry garbage. RFID module is the module of radio frequency identification system. It is a reader card also module. 13.56 megahertz is a low cost module. Low cost MRF 522 based RFID module. reader module is easy to use and can be used as a RFID module has a range of 5 centimeter and frequency range is 13.56 megahertz. Here is a flowchart of our project. First we start, then we use a card swipe by customer and enter type of garbage. Then we use a servo motor for opening the doors of our opening the dustbin doors. Then if garbage added in incorrect dustbin, then we throw a garbage in incorrect dustbin. Then file will be directly detected from our account. Then here is end of our project. Please, next slide please. Next slide, explained by Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Next slide. Hello. Hello, Pallavi. Next
Yes,
slide.
yes, you are audible.
Hello, Pallavi.
Ashwini, next slide please.
Ma'am, these are the methodology. The Internet of Things (IoT) describes the physical object or a group of such objects that are the embedded with the sensor, processing, habitually software and and other technologies and that are connected and exchange data with other device and system over the internets or other the communication networks. We are using the Internet of Things in the project, which we helps us to connect the project to internet and wi- wive internet to our mobile phone. DTH11 will be used to check the status of garbage throwing by the people in dustbin. Servo motor used to open and close the door of the garbage compartment. Power supply is provided to such switch on the project. RFID is used to know that the person throwing the garbage and the detected money from his account. Next slide. These are the advantages. Full transparency, proper organization of the waste, reducing organization of carbon footprint. Application to collect uh, to hello to to collect the dustbin placed at the published place in city. Automatic open close LED lid for for easy of use. There is no connect touch between the dustbin placed and the person, so prevention for the germs and disease. Next slide by shown Akshay. Thank you, ma'am. Next slide is conclusion. Uh, we are project conclusion is by receiving the below references, we can conclude that using the sensor technology and Internet of Things communication between hardware and software, we can monitor garbage into different state. Android application will help the display the data from controller. Next slide is our references. This references is next slide. This is our project references. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Akshay,
Yes, sir.
how to link the bank account with your project? How to link? Anyone can be answer from your group. Hello?
Yes, sir.
How?
So in this case, we will use our RFID module for, and in this case, we will give a one card like ATM card, but there is a Aadhaar number in any person. By swipe the card, they will be automatically cut from its bank account because our Aadhaar number is already linked in our account. That's why.
Okay. How to detect the wet garbage and the dry garbage?
Uh, by using servo motor, nahi,
Sensor.
DHT sensor. In this case, we will use, there is a humidity sensor which will detect the our garbage is dry or wet.
Okay. Raus sir?
I have a small query.
Huh.
You have mentioned something about 7805. I'm not understood. What is 7805? You are written somewhere. In one of the slide, there is another block 7805 along with power supply. What is that?
It is a voltage regulator IC.
What does it do?
Sir, this IC is used for microcontroller.
It is microcontroller. It is used with.
Yes, sir. This is a IC.
How much voltage it gives at the output? Seven eight zero five IC.
220.
How much voltage it gives at the output terminal?
Sir, 125 kz frequency.
Acha. Okay, fine. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Okay. Go to Pandey ma'am.
Okay, thank you all. The next, Diksha Aglave is present.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Diksha Aglave is present. Okay. Yes, Pratik Gutke, you'll start the presentation.
I have to share my screen.
Yes,
ma'am?
yes. Sure.
Yes, am I audible? Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible and screen is also visible.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. Start.
Is screen visible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. My paper title is An Automated Irrigation System for Efficient Water Utilization using GSM in the Indian agriculture system. These are the authors for my research work. Myself, Pratik Gutke, and my guide is Dr. Rahul Agrawal, sir. This is the content of my presentation. First of all, introduction. Next is related work, proposed system. Then we have identified one case study here, working model, and then result, and then references which we have used. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, go ahead, Pratik.
Okay. So this is the introduction of my presentation. Yes, all of you know India is a land of agriculture, which is very famous for its rich and biological diversities. Almost 60% of the Indian land it comprises of agriculture land. You know, as we go ahead, the climate is very suitable for its agriculture. So various regions of our countries are suitable for various crops in the Indian. So we have to adopt some new technologies in the agriculture system to increase the productivity of crops in various regions. Okay. So these are the related work for my case study. With the progression of the correspondence, remote sensors, that is WSN, and currently we are ready to offer the precise and the productive type of assistance to the farmers. A computerized water system framework, that is automated irrigation system, which has been created to advance the water by utilizing the soil dampness, also its temperature by observing the quality of the land in which we are growing the crops. So this is the proposed system for the automated irrigation. It consists of a solar panel, then the communication line is there, the energy meter we have used here, various relays has been used, capacitor bank, also motor for pumping set, means a motor for irrigation to take the water from the well and all. So various sensors which we have used is air temperature sensor, soil moisture sensor, also water sensor, and GSM network is there. We have to come. So irrigation pump control. So the proposed framework is of robotized irrigation framework for successful water use and to improve the water vitality, which we are using to propose the water irrigation system framework. So case study, to estimate the irrigation need of a particular crop and its scheduling it to proper growth, soil moisture, the type of crop, and groundwater availability. Knowledge is prerequisite. So we have to express some of the parameters to maintain the steady state growth, that is evapotranspiration, that is ETC. It should be balanced with the change in the soil moisture sensor, that is SM. Rainwater, and the notation which we have used here is PE. Groundwater taken by the capillary action, that is GW. And the sprays for the drift loss, soil drift loss, that is SDL, occurring during the irrigation, and a surface runoff, that is RO, which can be expressed as the expression for this study which we have used is ETC, that is evapotranspiration plus RO plus SDL minus PE plus SM plus GW equals to 0. These all case study it is taken from for irrigation manual which I have used in the references. If the water source cannot meet the need of normal plant growth, the deviation factor, it can be calculated as DF equals to ETC plus RO plus SDL minus P plus SM plus GW. So evapotranspiration, it is the sum of the evaporation and the plant transpiration from the Earth's land surface to the atmosphere. Evapotranspiration is a key component of water balance and it is closely linked to the ecosystem of the productivity. ETC evapotranspiration, it can be expressed in mm per day, okay, millimeter per day. It can be expressed as ETC equals to Kc, that is Kc is some multiplying factor, then ETO, where Kc is the crop factor, which is dependent on the different stages of the plant growth. Means from the beginning when we are growing the seeds into the land, so how the plant growth take place, the crop factor, it depends upon the different stages. ETO, it is termed as a reference crop evapotranspiration, that is in mm per day. It can be expressed as T0 equals to 0.0023 into RA in bracket T min plus 17.8 into TD raised to 0.5. So this is the work. So we have to start a solar irrigation system. Inside the values of DF, SM, and T, that is temperature, L, VT, and so on. Fetch the data from the energy meter from all sensors. So if SM it is less than SMT or the temperature is greater than T, so deviation factor it is greater than 0. If no, then DF equals to 0. We are moving forward. DF it is less than 0. So if WL, what because it is greater than WLT, so we will be moving ahead if V is greater than Vt and f of frequency it is greater than f of t. So the pump will get start. So rescheduling of the irrigation is we have to gather. So working it depends on the data gathering process.
Hello, Pratik.
Yes, Pratik.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Ha,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, present your screen.
Okay, okay. I think there is a power cutoff. I will be sharing from my mobile phone now, ma'am. Is it okay with you?
Okay.
Yes, yes. Just give me 1 second, ma'am. Yes, is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, Pratik.
Okay, so working that is data gathering and the process. First of all,
One
the
second.
information from the
Hello.
soil type, that
Present
is
your
crop
share
type,
your
we have to
presentation.
take from various soil, means which crop we
Yes,
have
Pratik.
grown
Pratik.
there, the yield and the productivity and
Yes,
development of
Pratik.
these stages. It is important. So this is the first process, that is data gathering and processing. Next
Pratik.
is decision making. Yes, the deliberate estimation of the soil dampness SM it is contrasted, and the age that is SMT, and the temperature T it can be contrasted with the limit. So results this experiment we have actually performed in the Golden Fence plant, usually to develop all seasons and support the temperature from 4 degree to 50 degree Celsius. The dirt kind of semi-sticky subsequently, the water needs to be 50 to 60 per day in the climatic zone. The amount of water that is QW, it is measured and it is 10. Then the breakdown of the impact that is temperature and the soil dampness factors. So these are the results we have taken there, and these are the following references which we have used. The first reference is very, very important, that is water manual. So all the formulas or expressions, we have taken it from there. So thank you. That's it from my side, ma'am.
Pratik, are you compare your result with the other research papers?
Yes.
Pratik, are you compare your result with the other research paper results?
Yes, sir. Research paper I have submitted there. In that various tables and various calculations I have mentioned there in research paper.
Okay.
That results I have not mentioned here in my presentation, but
Okay.
the paper which I have submitted there, I have mentioned various results.
I have the one query in your case study. You are specify the one equation, and that is the ETC plus R0 plus SDL is equal to 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That
Why
is
this
taken
is
from
equal?
five irrigation manual.
Why this is equal to 0?
Since ETC plus RO plus SDL and all rest of the parameters will go on the right hand side. That is PE plus SM plus GW
But
equals to 0.
if you consider these equations, in that case, that is a 0. Why this is 0?
Sir, during the ideal case, that case study has been taken on the perfectly good soil condition where the transmission rate and the RO, that is runoff water, SDL, it all is of proportionate. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. And you have calculated the T0. Next equation, that is a T0. In the T0, you are added
Yes, ET0. Yes, sir.
17.8. What is that 17.8?
Min plus 17.8, that is soil dampness.
Is it threshold or something? That is a constant.
Threshold value, sir. Threshold.
How you have calculate this value?
Sir, that value will vary from different places, sir. Places to places.
Okay, okay. So what is the range of that value?
It is actually from, sir, in India, it is from 5 to 20.60. It varies.
5 to
20.6.
20.6. Okay.
Yes.
Arav, sir?
Yeah, how you are measuring the dampness of the or moisture of the soil?
Soil dampness sensor is there, sir, in our experiment. That equipment is there, soil dampness instrument.
What principle
So when we
it
are
works on?
putting that two arrows in the soil, in different kinds of soil, then we are getting the reading of that in our LCD display.
What
is
type
the,
of
if the
what principle that sensor works on?
Yes, sir.
On what principle that sensor moisture sensor works?
Temperature difference between the soil means if the soil is wet, then the moisture of that soil will be less, and if the soil is very dry type and all, then it will show greater.
No, my point is slightly different. What is the principle of working of that sensor? On what principle it works? That is my little question. Is it a capacitive sensor, inductive sensor, resistive sensor, or some integrated circuit? I think his internet, Mr. Pratik's internet is not steady. Pratik, can you hear me?
Pratik?
Yes, Pratik. Yes, Pratik, you are not audible. Pratik?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are now audible.
Ma'am, actually, your voice is breaking or very slightly. I am able to hear.
Pratik, can you hear me? Pratik, I think his internet connection is not stable. So we may proceed.
Yes,
Then.
sir.
Yeah. Gandhi sir, Pandya madam, we can proceed.
Sir, rest of the participants have not joined it. If they are joined, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Up till now, we'll stop here.
Okay, okay. Pratik, it's nice work. And since it is a social, considering the scarcity of water, it's a social, very hot social topic. So I wish you all the best and continue your work in this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. Thank you so much, sir. We are Rao, sir, and PD Gawande, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you, ma'am.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, you can leave the meeting. I'll let you know if there are some other participant who are joining the meeting. Then I'll let you know.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.